Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Cape Shit podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Hector, also known as CN6.
And I'm your other co-host. This is Hav, and today we have assembled for a discussion pod for you guys. Basically, we are going to be talking about everything that's been confirmed by James Gunn about what's to come from DC Studios.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
but
sir.
Before we do, I'd like to remind you that you guys can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Make sure you follow our socials at Cape Shit Podcast or go to capeshitpodcast.com. You're going to see all of our links through there. And yeah, also, before we actually, make sure you follow our Instagram at Cape Shit.
Yes, sir.
If you enjoy the superhero content or want to keep up with the news and the genre, make sure you follow that. That's our main page at Cape Shit on Instagram. But with that being said, guys, suit the fuck up, because we're actually about to get into it, man. There's a lot of things that was announced. I'm actually excited to talk about it. Yeah, let's get into it.
I just hope I have everything, because I even did a quick look back on Twitter to make sure that I didn't miss any big news and stuff like that. And I think I have everything. I included some little tidbits that I feel like would play into a bigger factor into some of the things that I have on here, but a lot of this news is stuff that came right now. What's today? We're recording Saturday, June 28th. So at this time of recording last week, yes, it was last week, James Gunn was doing marketing for Superman, and he basically gave up a bunch of updates about the DC studio future regarding Superman, regarding Batman, other little tidbits of movies and stuff that we didn't know before. And a lot of that news was supposed to be for the HRV News, which is the other podcast that we have running concurrent with this one. But we decided to save the news that was like the DC Studios stuff for this podcast, because there's a lot that in and of itself would have been a really long discussion, a really long podcast. And so we decided to just separate that off into this podcast so that way we can just go into more detail about it. So I have a few things on here. The first thing I want to get out of the way, because this one is the most recent news. I want to get this one out of the way just because I know we have a lot of thoughts on it. But the most recent news, this is to come out, I think, just a day ago. And that is that finally, Matt Reeves has finished the script for Batman Part 2.
Let's go!
Yeah, bro. Dude, I don't know why it took so fucking long, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why, man. And I think I've mentioned this on an HRV podcast before, where I said, I don't know what's taking him so long. I hope it's not writer's block. I hope he doesn't fumble this movie, because every movie that Matt Reeves has written or directed or both, he's never flopped, bro. He's never fumbled. He's always put out great shit. And so for as long as it took him to write the script for the second one, bro, I've always wondered why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's been talking about we're almost done with the script when he was marketing The Penguin, and that was last year. So I don't know, man. So it's finally finished. It got finally turned in, and now we already had confirmation that filming is going to start January 2026.
Yes.
And I think it's aiming for a 2027 October release date. Fuck.
Yeah, man. That's far away, dude.
I know,
it was supposed to come out this year.
It was supposed to come out, dude.
It was supposed to come out this year, dude, and now it's gonna come out in 2 years now.
I know, bro. And I know we were hyped at the time, years ago, because we were like, bro, that's fucking crazy. We're getting a new Superman and Batman movie in the same year.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be a fucking fire year for us, superhero fans are eating. But then it got delayed.
No,
bro.
and Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Fuck, bro. That
was the same year too. So we're like, yeah, dude, we're fucking eating. It's Beyond the Spider-Verse, Superman, at the time Superman Legacy, right? And then the Batman Part 2. But speaking of Superman, the Cape Shitters, man, they don't know this.
Oh,
they don't. Because I'm pretty sure we mentioned it. We mentioned in the HRV pod, but
that's true. They don't
not
know.
On here. And we got early screening. We got early tickets for an early screening of Superman. Yeah, dude, we're super excited. We're gonna watch it. What, 3
Tuesday
days? Tuesday night. Yeah, but what is it? 3 days early? No, 2 days early.
2 days.
Yeah.
Usually when it's really big movies, which is like superhero movies, big IPs, they premiere Thursday night, not Friday night.
Oh yeah.
The rest of the movies premiere Friday, but the big movies is Thursday night. So really, 2 days.
2 days.
2 days early. But yeah, man, I think it was
tickets.
Yeah, we were able to secure some tickets for an early screening. I believe it was a partnership deal with Fandango
and Amazon.
Amazon
Prime.
Exactly. So members who had Amazon Prime were able to go to a certain website, sign in their Prime account, and access the tickets through Fandango, which is probably the first time any of us had to buy a movie ticket in a long time because we have that.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm thinking of maybe like reaching out to AMC and be like, hey man, can y'all like sponsor us or something? Like, what?
Y'all can help us watch a movie a week early.
Yeah,
that'd be fire. Imagine
that'd be really cool
if we had a partnership with a movie theater chain and they would hook us up with movies early,
or hook us up with our subscription, man.
That too.
You know what I mean?
That's like, we never have to pay for concessions.
Or maybe some early like access to like a popcorn bucket.
That's fire.
You know what I mean?
That would be fire.
Like that'd be super cool. I want to see, man. I'm gonna try to reach out to y'all. I'm gonna see AMC. Come on
hopefully,
now.
Hopefully,
but yeah, we're gonna watch Superman early. That's really exciting. We got good seats as well. I made sure we got good seats. One thing I was worried about is like, is there gonna be a max amount of tickets I could buy? Thankfully, I didn't run into that issue. A lot of us are going, like my siblings included, plus Hav, plus Mario. That's gonna be total. That's gonna be 6 of us. So I managed to get 6 tickets. Really great seats. We're hyped.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited.
Extremely hyped.
Dude, it's soon now.
Hell yeah, dude! It's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, bro. We fucking wasn't the first episode of Cape Shit. The Why We Need Superman Legacy.
Yes, that's the first episode.
It was the first one, not the second one.
No.
Okay, I confused which one was our first, that one or the Iron Man Super Review. But it was the Superman one. Was the first
Superman,
one?
Yeah,
dude. And like now we're here, dog.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, it's so fucking close. And even back then, it was still called Legacy. We knew the casting, but we didn't know what the Superman suit would look like and all that shit.
Now I'm thinking about something, and I'm kind of running into an issue here, Hav. Let's talk about it live.
All right.
Okay, so it's Superman. I'm thinking, okay, because we already plan on reviewing it on HRV. Should we not do it there and do it on here? Or should we do it separately? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how we would do that.
That's a good question.
How do we do that?
I feel like if we really wanted to capitalize on the superhero niche, it would have to be on here.
Yeah.
I feel like.
That's what I'm thinking. But it wouldn't fit with the plans that we're doing with HRV.
That's true.
Which no one knows yet. No one in the future the big change with HRV. No one knows that yet. So it's gonna contradict that.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out. We'll talk about it off pod. We'll figure something out. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. What else? Just Superman. We're excited to go see it.
So we were talking about. So I had mentioned that the script for the Batman Part 2 is finished.
Oh, yeah, the Batman, yes.
And so that actually prompted. This is interesting. I didn't know this. Apparently, I don't know if you want to call this a jab. I don't know if you want to call this like maybe a jab or a little sneak diss or something towards James Gunn.
Okay.
But the Hollywood Reporter
Yeah.
had something to say about the Matt Reeves finishing the Batman script.
Okay.
They had something to say about it. I had no idea about this. And this was reported about 13 hours ago. Mm-hmm. So this is relatively very new. And so I just read what's provided on the screenshot here that I saw on Twitter. But the Hollywood Reporter put out a statement with their thoughts for Matt Reeves finishing the Batman Part 2 script. Uh-huh. And they said, this is not the jab right here. This is just a comment that they're making.
Okay.
So the Hollywood Reporter said, you guys can stop asking James Gunn about this now. The Batman Part 2 script is in. Filmmaker Matt Reeves revealed that he and co-writer Mattson Tomlin have turned in the draft, sharing an image of them with the script this past Friday. And then they said, this part's fucking crazy. Then they went on to say, in parentheses, but you can ask Gunn about who's writing the Brave and the Bold movie, because we're not convinced there is one.
Ooh. Here's the thing. That's another topic that we're going to actually get into, because James Gunn said something crazy. And I guess we could talk about and speculate what movie that or what project that was. Uh-huh. We'll get into that. Yeah. Could it be that one?
I'm not sure, bro.
We'll talk about that later. But damn, that is a sneak diss right there.
Yeah, dude. So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, they're not convinced what James Gunn had told us a while back. So I remember James Gunn provided an update when we made that Cape Shit is Back discussion video, which was originally recorded back in March. And I remember that one of the talking points there was that James Gunn said that the Brave and the Bold film has a writer. But if you remember, James Gunn said, I don't want to reveal who the writer is because I don't want there to be pressure on that individual to make the best Batman movie in the world. Like, I'd rather have him just cook without him being on the spotlight into the public, which makes sense. And I know we talked about how we felt like, oh, maybe he's a first timer. Maybe he's not established. Maybe he just doesn't. It's his first film he's ever writing. Or I even suggested, could this be BS? Could James Gunn really be the one writing it? And he wants to like reveal it at a Comic-Con. Like, actually, I'm writing Batman. Oh, shit. We don't know. But now the Hollywood Reporter is saying, nah, man, James Gunn is straight up lying. We don't think there is a writer.
Yeah.
And I think I could kind of see why they would think that. That's only because before last week, we didn't have that much news about the Brave and the Bold movie. Now, Brave and the Bold, I have something about Brave and the Bold. That was one of the things that James Gunn talked about last week.
And Batman as a whole.
Yes. Yeah. And I have some stuff on here, but none of it really relates to the writing process. So I don't know. I mean, I could understand why they would think that, but I don't know. I guess before I move on, what do you think? Like, are you kind of like siding with them? Do you think that there isn't a writer for Brave and the Bold, and James Gunn is just kind of saying stuff to keep the fans at bay, just to kind of keep them like, you know what? Just so that the fans are not freaking out, because look how they're freaking out over the Batman script not getting finished. Let's just say that, you know what? Yeah, we have a writer. But in reality, we don't. That's why we won't give out a name. Or are we just going to keep on that train, that hype train of, we got to trust James Gunn, whatever he says, you know, we got to trust him no matter what. It's like, where do you lean more towards?
I mean, it's kind of difficult because I see both perspectives. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand maybe why James Gunn doesn't want to reveal the writer, but then I understand why some people might think there's not even a writer. Because that is kind of strange if you think about it. Usually whenever like a director or a writer is assigned a project, it's revealed and people are like, talk about it, it's kind of hype. Whereas in this situation, that's not the case.
Right.
And I guess it only brings up more questions and more curiosity and really wonder, is there really a writer? So, and like I said, like you said before, you actually did mention this before in the pie, like maybe he's BSing, which unfortunately it could be the case, man, because this isn't the first time James Gunn has kind of BS'd us. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He did it he did it when the fucking Aquaman was still about to air, or Shazam, or what was it? I forgot what movie. He was like, oh yeah, this is going to be part of the DCU. Then he completely lied and said, no, that's fucking retcon. Like, that's out. Do you remember that?
I think it was Flash.
Was it the Flash?
I think if you're talking about the video where he talked about, he announced like the slate, his upcoming project. Yeah. So he had a part where he said that the Flash was going to be the reset. Something for the new DCU or some shit like that. But then obviously, like, after Aquaman finished, like, James Gunn is just like now off doing his own thing. I mean, hell, fucking Jason Momoa is now Lobo.
Yeah.
The Flash isn't even established in this universe yet. He's probably going to get recast. And he confirmed who the 3 actors who are going to carry over from the old DC to the new one. So, like, none of it was the Flash. So, yeah, that is true. Or him even, like, when he did that podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, the Inside of You podcast, he said, he said something along the lines of, it was like a really quick sentence. It's one of those, if you missed it, you wouldn't have caught it, you know? But he said something like, I just saw like the finished cut of The Flash, which is one of the best superhero movies ever made. I can't wait for people to watch it. And then he kept talking. I wasn't crazy about The Flash. Neither were a lot of other people.
And that's the thing is, there could be times where he is BSing, but maybe he doesn't want to BS. Maybe it's because he kind of has to. Because at the time, there's no way in hell that he's going to talk shit about a movie that's not even out yet. And that's going to ruin the fucking brand that he's in.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
He has to talk highly about it. And obviously say, hey, Aquaman and The Flash and the Blue Beetle, whatever. They're gonna be part of my new DCU because those are the movies that were recently coming out at the time. Maybe the higher ups, Warner Bros. They're like, hey, you got to do this and this because we can't fuck up our numbers, you know. So I don't know. It's really difficult. It's just difficult. It's just he said, she said type of situation.
Yep,
we just got to take his word for it.
Well, yeah.
But I do understand. Like I do see that perspective though. Why some people might think that there is no writer for the Brave and the Bold. And to be honest, man, I see like it does kind of seem.
It seems
kind of
suspicious.
Yeah, it seems kind of
that he's not saying anything about it. Well, he did mention some things, and I guess that's a great transition to what he mentioned last week. He gives James Gunn has given us an update on the DCU's Batman. So not necessarily the Matt Reeves epic saga crime universe, the epic crime saga universe. My bad.
Well, I did see that there were talks that Matt Reeves, the Batman, was going to be the Batman for the DCU.
Oh yeah,
did you see that?
Yeah.
I did see that. I don't know if we ever talked about that.
I don't know if we ever talked about it. I knew that was a while back. I feel like we had to have mentioned it.
Well, let's dive deeper into that a little bit, just a little bit. What do you think about that?
So I know. Okay, so basically the backstory is that James Gunn. I'm trying to remember. James Gunn had asked Matt Reeves if he would be comfortable letting his Batman be part of the DCU. Now, in my personal opinion, it makes sense because the Batman had already come out. There's already an established universe with side projects attached to it, like the Penguin. And we're getting
and it was successful.
Yeah, and we're getting an Arkham show, I believe, or I think they scrapped that for. No, they scrapped the GCPD show for the Arkham one and stuff like that. And
he's a younger Batman.
Younger Batman. One that would probably coincide with like a younger Superman. And so I remember that he was something that he asked Matt Reeves, but Matt Reeves was the one who made the decision not to keep it separate as its own thing. Now, personally, I understand where he's coming from, but me, I would have preferred it to be separate.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? I think we might have talked about this.
Yeah, I think so too.
This sounds more familiar because we agree that the Batman should be its own thing, for sure. Because we said how we love the groundedness of it and the realism in the movie and like the universe overall. It'll feel weird
to know that canonically the events of Superman is going on the same time as this shit.
You know?
No, I get what you mean.
It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So,
and here's the thing. I have another piece of news regarding Clayface. But Clayface is something that we talked about in our last discussion pod, the Cape Shit is Back discussion pod. And we mentioned that a Clayface movie had been greenlit. That the script was finished. James Gunn and Peter Safran loved the script. And they said, you know what? This shit's fire. We're going to make this. And it's DCU canon. So he even mentioned the reason why it's DCU canon. This is coming from James Gunn, mind you. Which is a complete 180. James Gunn said the reason why the Clayface movie is DCU canon is because we don't believe that it could fit in the grounded universe that is Matt's epic crime saga, his Batman universe. However, now that prompts me to ask, if in an alternate universe, if Matt Reeves said, you know what, sure, let's let my Batman be in the DCU universe, would they have greenlit Clayface?
That's interesting. I think so, man. I think they would have.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be so difficult. There's no way that James Gunn would try to rewrite everything that he had planned to fit that groundedness. It just wouldn't make sense. Because if we look at DC, if we look at the DC universe, man, it's big, man. It's there's fucking magic, there's fucking monsters. It's a big spectacle, right? And the Batman's universe is like the opposite. It's completely super grounded. So it'll be really difficult for them to intertwine them. And if anything, I'm more so confused as to why James Gunn like gave him that, like, why did he come up with that idea in the first place? Like, hey, let's bring on your Batman, bro. You know what I mean? Like, why would he ask that if he knew, no, this bitch grounded? You know?
I think it was just because it's the obvious thing to do. I think in his perspective, it's like, well, this is already an established Batman. Why go through the hassle of making a new Batman when this one already exists?
That's true, yeah.
You know what I mean? They would just have to stamp the DC Studios logo on it, and oh shit, now it's DCU canon. So technically, the Batman is this universe's Iron Man. It's the first movie of this new cinematic universe. And it's already established. And it's a young Batman starting out as Batman. This is year 2 for him in the movie. In the 2022 Batman movie, it's year 2 of the Batman project. Which is what I think he calls it. And when he does his little journals, he calls it the Batman project. It's year 2, and so if you're going to have that introduced with a new Superman, a new, brand new, fresh face, a younger Superman who's also just starting out, it would just make sense to combine the two. The only problem is that we have to, like, the audience would have to make that mental leap of, yeah, I believe there are Kryptonians that exist in this universe too. Like, as I'm watching, if I decided to rewatch the Batman, I have to like mentally know consciously, like, oh yeah, Kryptonians and Green Lanterns exist in this universe. But that would kind of feel a little off because it's like it doesn't like fit.
No, yeah, of course. And I would argue, I wouldn't say Superman is starting out. I mean, James Gunn said that Superman's already established, like the world's already established. We're just jumping in, you know? So if everything is already established and Superman is already established, people already know who he is. Millions of people know who he is. We see in the trailer, right? There's a whole war going on the other side of the world, right? Versus with Batman, he's only it was confirmed that he's only 2 years in.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just too much. That's too much of a starting point.
That's true.
And it's just and because the Batman is such an important character, an important role in the Justice League and in the universe, it just wouldn't make sense to have Batman be like just starting out, right, dealing with Brainiac or joining the Justice League and shit, you know? Like,
yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? So
you would probably need an established Batman at that point.
Yeah, and I think that's what maybe that's definitely what they're going for, because we see it, and this is crazy. I know this is fucking blasphemy. I still got to watch it. Creature Commandos, right?
I know what you're going with this. I still haven't seen the show.
I haven't seen it either, but
I know where you're going with this.
But we saw this, right? They reveal DCU's Batman and Creatures Commandos. Not like a full, it's just like a silhouette. It's a silhouette. That's all I saw from Creature Commandos. And James Gunn has said, yeah, that's the DCU Batman. He's already established. And that kind of makes sense for the world that he's trying to build. He's kind of over the fact that, like, oh, we don't need an origin story. We don't need to do build up. Fuck that, man. Let's just dive right into it, man. Like, if it's an actual comic book, fuck it. And I think that's a good idea, because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of understand where he's coming from. Like, you know what? We've gotten so many origin stories. Like, we already know his origin story, man. You're right. We don't need to see it. And in a way, it's kind of like DC Studios or even James Gunn is trying to catch up with the MCU. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this is their chance to do it with everything already established. So I just think that it wouldn't make sense to incorporate Batman when he's just a newbie at this point. And that was a big criticism. A lot of people hated it. Yo, what the fuck? This emo Batman is awkward as fuck. It's not Bruce Wayne, like the attractive like guy that a ladies man and wears his gadgets and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, people were really upset about it, but then they misunderstand, like, hey bro, like, he's only 2 years into this.
Yeah.
It's confirmed. He's only 2 years into this. He's not going to, like, even look at his Batmobile, right? It's not going to be where he's at right now. Even his flying suit, bro. Remember how he fucking crashed and, like, he just was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, he's just starting out. So I don't know why people took that as like a big criticism. You know?
Absolutely.
But hey, he's just starting out. So to me, it wouldn't make sense to bring him on unless there was a huge time jump. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, okay, Matt Reeves' the Batman is now canon to the DCU. Okay, cool. But now that means there has to have been a time jump, like a fucking 10-year time jump, to where we're gonna see all of his gadgets and his new Batmobile and, like,
the Robins are established.
Yeah, right. It's like, what the fuck? And, like, then you got to ask yourself, would you like to see that? Would you like that, or would you feel like, what the fuck, man? I miss a lot of character development with him
in the middle.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's a good idea to keep him separate, and I think that's why maybe Matt Reeves also as well. He made it. Maybe he had his other reasons. We don't know. But it's just interesting that despite everything that we're mentioning right now, James Gunn still came to him and said, "Hey, why not bring him on?" You know? when he should know. It just wouldn't make sense.
All right.
He shouldn't need Matt Reeves to tell him that. Come on now, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that he made that offer. Mm-hmm. But shout out to him because he respected it, and shout out to Warner Bros. As well, like higher ups. They're putting all of their eggs in this one basket. They're trusting James Gunn to do their thing. Mm-hmm. They're especially because the higher ups in Warner Bros. are different people now, right?
Yes.
We talked about that before, and I think HRV Pod or maybe one of these episodes, one of the Cape Ship episodes. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with how things are right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I just hope that the Batman in the DCU is fucking phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I hope like he's fucking amazing, and I like him just as much as I did with Matt Reeves' Batman.
That's true.
That's like important. Same thing with everyone else, man. I'm excited. With Wonder Woman, I'm excited to see everyone. And great idea with Elseworlds as well, bringing back Elseworlds W. So that'd be really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. What about you, bro?
I mean, I agree. Everything that you said is pretty much what I would mirror saying.
Bet.
Cool. I also believe it should be its own separate thing. I just don't feel like I would enjoy having to know that, in this universe, like,
and the Penguin,
Kryptonians and shit.
after seeing the Penguin, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like, Kryptonians exist in this world. Like, what the fuck? Like, it just wouldn't make sense for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But, I do agree that it should remain its separate, its own separate thing, which it is. And I think, and here's the thing, right? I mentioned earlier how I felt like James Gunn offering the idea, kind of throwing the idea out there, hey, fuck it, right, Matt Reeves? Why doesn't your Batman become DC canon? DCU canon? Like, why wouldn't your Batman be the Batman of our main continuity? Well, kind of like how I mentioned how it would just been easier because that's a Batman that's already established. It's a true. Batman that's starting out, a young Batman that might have a long future. Robert Pattinson could be playing Batman for many, many years, could do team-up movies and whatever, right? But obviously, Matt Reeves, we know the result. He said, no, let's keep it separate. And now, the DCU Batman is in a predicament. It's in a predicament right now, given the news that James Gunn mentioned last week. So, above all the other things that he mentioned last week, we're going to get through, hopefully, all of it. One of the things he mentioned, he gives an update on basically the DCU's Batman. So, unfortunately, with Matt Reeves saying, no, I want my Batman universe to be separate, that would mean that James Gunn, whether he likes it or not, has to establish another Batman into the mainstream, into his own DC universe. Yep. So the problem is that we got an update about the DCU's Batman by James Gunn, and one of those updates is that the character is his biggest issue right now. It's having a really hard time trying to get off the ground for a myriad of reasons. One is that he's not interested. James Gunn said he is not interested in a funny, campy Batman, which I think I speak for everyone in the world. Neither are we. Yep. Like, I don't know why you would even think, like, we would even want that to begin with. Just, I'm not interested in a campy Batman. What the fuck? Like, well, duh.
I want Batman from the animated universe, bro.
Yeah, that would be fire.
That would be fire. Like, that aura, that, like...
the noir sort of, like, underground style. I want that. Oh, yeah. In live action, in the universe. Dude, no, absolutely. I would, too. That's the kind of Batman I'm going for. It's just funny, because he's like, I'm not interested in a funny, campy Batman. And it's like, what the hell? Neither are we, James Gunn. Like, why would that even cross your mind to begin with?
Maybe there are other people that want that or something? I don't know.
I mean, we've seen what a funny Batman can be with Ben Affleck. I mean, the Ben Affleck Batman, like, certain scenes, like in the Joss Whedon version of Justice League, not the 4-hour cut, the 2-hour cut with CGI mustache Superman. Like, there were scenes that were refilmed to make Batman have more jokes and shit, because Joss Whedon has jokes in all his movies. And some of the scenes that he had in The Flash, the Ben Affleck Batman, and even Michael Keaton as Batman when he came back, there were a bunch of, like, funny, campy scenes with them too. And to be honest, like, for movies that I'm not too crazy about, I wasn't really a fan of watching Batman shown in that light. So I'm glad that James Gunn is on board too, saying that he's not interested in a funny, campy Batman. Like, I want my Batman to be like the Matt Reeves Batman, but believable that it exists in the greater DCU.
Oh yeah.
Something like that, where like I believe that there is a clay-like monster that can shapeshift to anyone. You know what I mean? Or a Joker whose face got bleached by acid. Not a face deformity that makes it look like he's smiling all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I would want something like that. That's the kind of the vibe I'm going for, which I'm basically describing the Batman animated series.
No, yeah, of course.
But yeah, so he says that he's not interested in a funny, campy Batman.
Let's go.
He also went on to say that he's actively working with the writer to finish the script. But as we mentioned earlier, the Hollywood Reporter thinks otherwise, and they think that there is no writer, and James Gunn is just giving us fake quotes, fake updates, just to kind of settle the fire that is the fans asking for updates about his movies and shit. Which I have another thought. Which I have thoughts about that, but let me finish reading this because I have something to say about that. This is interesting. He thinks Wonder Woman has been easier to adapt because he also mentioned that a Wonder Woman movie is currently being written, right? And he says that he believes that Wonder Woman is easier to adapt because his quote, every single Batman story has been told across media. And it's one of those things where I'm like, come on now, really? And then I thought about it like, oh, fuck.
Like all the iconic ones or like all the ones?
He's kind of right.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, oh, shit. And then the last update is that the film is still going to be called The Brave and the Bold. But that one's interesting, that last one. Like, every Batman story has been told already. And that's kind of true. I mean, we have seen Batman starting out. We've seen Batman go through his fiercest foes. We've seen a Batman where he retires or quits or gets beaten by the bad guy. We've seen him in a redemption arc where he comes back and defeats the bad guy who defeated him and, you know, takes the winning victory. You know, a lot of that comes from the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. A lot of that comes from the Matt Reeves Batman story. A lot of that was sprinkled into the Ben Affleck Batman story when he was in his movies doing that universe, the Snyderverse. So it's kind of true. Like, we kind of have seen different aspects. We've seen Batman win. We've seen Batman lose. We've seen Batman start out. We've seen Batman end. Like, which way do you go now?
Yeah.
So it kind of prompts me to think, and I kind of want to ask you, because I have an idea. I have a thought. With this mentality that James Gunn has, fuck, bro, every story has been told. Where do we go? Let's say in a perfect world, right? It will never happen, but in a perfect world, if James Gunn were to call you, Seeing Six, I said, bro, I got writer's block, dog. I don't know where to go with this fucking dude.
Yeah.
What kind of story should I tell about the DCU Batman? Like, what would you pitch? What story do you want to see from Batman? I'm not saying give me a comic book storyline specifically. Like, I'm not saying that, but like just saying, like, in your eyes, what would be an acceptable DCU Batman story? Because I have an idea. It's going to sound... It's not super detailed.
Okay.
But I have an idea because I can understand where he's coming from. You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have anything right now. I really don't know. Because it's true. Because if I was say, oh, what if we do this? It's like, oh, we already saw that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Go first, then.
So here's what I would say. I think James Gunn, for one, shouldn't treat Batman like Spider-Man. Here's what I mean by that. I've noticed that the MCU knows that Spider-Man is the face of Marvel. He is one of the most iconic superheroes of all time, especially on the Marvel side.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the MCU, I feel like the MCU kind of popularized the idea that every Spider-Man movie has to be this big, eccentric, like, over-the-top thing, because that's what racks in the fans, and that's what racks in the numbers. That's how we get these billion-dollar box office, record-breaking numbers and shit, right? We saw that with Spider-Man Far From Home, which in my opinion wasn't even like a Spider-Man movie that I felt was all that, yet somehow it still broke $1 billion, which I was like, what the fuck? I think No Way Home broke almost $2 billion, but that's because it was No Way Home, bro. Fucking the Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, Sandman, Lizard, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, they were all in the movie. That makes sense. Far From Home, I'm like, what? Just Mysterio? Like, whatever. But I feel like what they're doing is like that MCU thing where like every Marvel movie has to be its own another endgame. It has to have this super climactic third act. It has to be this big gigantic thing. And it became a discussion on the HRV podcast for the longest time that we did not want the next Spider-Man movie to be another multiverse story because we don't need one anymore. You know what I mean? And so what I don't want James Gunn to do is to treat Batman like another Spider-Man in the film sense, where he has to feel like he has to put this fantastic, over-the-top Batman story that'll just clear the board, like that'll blow fans away. Maybe, this is just me, and maybe people might disagree with me. Let me know in the comments. I don't think it's that deep, in my personal opinion. We know the movie's called The Brave and the Bold, which means he is going to have a sidekick, which has been confirmed. It's Damian Wayne Robin, right? It's the Damian Wayne Robin, which means the other Robins have already been established, so I'm pretty sure there's a Nightwing. Maybe Tim Drake is around. Maybe would be really cool is if we still think Jason Todd is dead. And then maybe in the sequel, or maybe in the first movie, maybe the antagonist is Red Hood. Something. I don't know. Maybe, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is maybe we don't have to overthink it. Maybe it's not worth us breaking our brains trying to crack the best Batman movie in the world. Maybe go something simple. In my opinion, I think you should just tell a Batman story. Don't focus on telling the best Batman story in the world because, yeah, no wonder this fucking movie's not coming off the ground. Like, no wonder you can't crack a script. No wonder your guys are struggling because you're trying to overdo something. Like, you can't match yourself to, like, we have to be as good as Matt Reeves' Batman. We have to top the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. Like, I don't think that's necessary. I think you should just tell a regular Batman story and have the story be a dynamic between a father and a son, distant relationship, because Batman, if we know from the comics, was not there for Damian's upbringing. He was raised by the League of Assassins, which I know has been called Shadow of Assassins, which is kind of different in the comics. Basically, he was raised by Ra's al Ghul's army, his crew of people, right? And so he grew up to be this little assassin who kind of was learned in the ways of the League of Assassins or League of Shadows, where like he doesn't feel remorse, he always kills, he was raised to be an assassin, and then Batman comes in with his no killing rule and he's like, how the fuck do I control this psychotic killer? Like, what the hell? So have it be a story of a father trying to have this relationship with his son who's completely different and goes against all his morals. Batman has this no killing rule, but he can't get through that to Damian's head because he was raised by the man who doesn't believe in mercy and kills his foes and shit, right? Ra's al Ghul. Maybe him having that hole of losing his parents, he could try to have his own little redemption arc for being there for Damian, even though he kind of has that guilt where he's like, I wasn't there for him when he was a kid. And now he's here, 12 years old, or however old they make him, right? 15, whatever. And now he's here in my doorstep. I didn't even know I had a son. And like, now I got to be there for him. Like, have this be like a mirroring thing where it's like, damn, I didn't have my parents. I don't want him to go through that at a young age. Like, something like that. Now, who's the antagonist? Bro, like I said, don't overthink it. Don't make this a multiverse story. We don't need to see him fight Heath Ledger Joker or fucking fight like Brainiac in the first movie. Just have it be someone simple. Maybe Red Hood. Maybe that's a way to introduce Red Hood. Jason Todd. Is that we think he's dead and then this Red Hood guy comes out and what the fuck, it's Jason Todd. Like, have the reveal where they all find out. Or have it be someone else. Just have it be Two-Face. Or have it just be the Penguin. Or Black Mask. In my personal opinion, I've never seen Birds of Prey. You have. And I don't know what you thought about Ewan McGregor's portrayal as Black Mask. I haven't seen the movie. Do you remember it being like breathtaking? Was it fire at least? Like, did it give off that mob boss crime vibe like that he does in the comics?
Dude, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Okay, well,
that was like 2019 or some shit. No?
Okay, so that kind of proves the point that maybe he wasn't that memorable. You know what I mean? You know, maybe. Because if you really...
Then again, I just watched a movie once and that's it, you know?
Well, that's true.
It's been so many years.
That is true. I guess, yeah, I'll give you that.
But I do remember, like, I didn't think the movie was bad as people made it out to be. It was like a Captain America Brave New World situation. Where like people didn't not like it, like hated it, and I was like, okay, it wasn't great, but I don't think it was trash.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's all I remember. Like I can't remember what the plot was, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember the plot. I don't remember everything else.
Yeah.
So,
well, what I'm trying to say is like, maybe don't overthink it. Maybe we just have the antagonist just be an antagonist. Like a lot of people are throwing around, you know, one thing that people talked about a lot a few years ago was superhero fatigue. Like, are we fatigued of superhero media? And back then, this was back when Phase 4 of the MCU was pumping out 8 projects a fucking year, and we were getting a fuck ton of superhero shit. But within that conversation, like kind of like a sub conversation within the conversation, there was this idea of Joker fatigue, because the Joker has been overdone so many times across media. Like, no matter where Batman goes, Joker has to be attached to it. Now, I'm going to make the argument, you kind of need Joker in Batman's world.
Oh yeah.
Whether we are sick of him, whether we see so much of him, whether all these Joker actors want to mimic the lightning in the bottle that was Heath Ledger's performance.
I'm over that.
Yeah.
I'm over that.
Yeah, right. Here's the thing. Whether you think it or not, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, I believe no matter what, Joker has to be in Batman's story.
Oh, yeah.
But if you are going to make the Joker the villain in this Brave and the Bold movie, just have him be a more comic accurate Joker. You know what I mean? Heath Ledger's Joker was Christopher Nolan's take on a Joker that was in the realistic world. Bro wore makeup. His smile was scars on his cheeks. He wore face makeup and dyed his hair green. And the dude was a psycho. But that was a realistic take on Joker. What about a Joker who actually does have the bleached skin and the red lips and the green hair, and he like does all the crazy shit that you see the Joker do in the animated series or even the Arkham games? Like, have a Joker that's more comic book accurate. You know what I mean? Something like that. And not something too fucking out there and eccentric like Jared Leto, but something more comic book accurate. Or you know what, bro? But like, the Joker's been done too many fucking times in live action. Let's do something different. Okay. Do Two-Face. Two-Face has been done a grand total of 1 times in live action. Black Mask has also only been done 1 time, and it wasn't even in Batman's movie.
Yeah.
They were fighting completely other characters. You know what I mean? So, me personally, James Gunn, I'm just saying, bro, and I don't know if I speak for everyone, I think it's not that deep. I don't think it's worth breaking your brains trying to crack the best Batman story in the world. Just go simple. Tell the story that you think is worth telling between a father who has a distant relationship with this new son that he has, who is who wants to be a Robin, but has different morals than him. Have there be a connection of like, damn, I grew up without a parent. He grew up without a parent. We can at least relate on that. But now I want to be there for him. I can't have him grow up fatherless like me and be like me, broken and depressed and like I live my life in a fucking cave. Like, have there like a that's like the emotional weight of the movie. That right there is like the core. And then the villain, just again, don't overthink it. Just have it be someone who's causing shit in Gotham. Just have it be Black Mask. Have it be Two-Face or the Penguin or you know, if you want to do the Joker, go comic book accurate. Don't have the actor mimic Heath Ledger. Have him be more comic book accurate. Give him like an actual Joker look. No makeup, no scars on the cheeks, no. Give him the actual like royal purple suit. Give him the actual Joker laugh, the smile. Like, just have it more comic book accurate. You know what I mean? Or if you think the Joker's been done too many times, there's a fuck ton of other villains that you could do. That would probably be fire. Court of Owls. I've never seen the Court of Owls be done live action. That's what I think. If someone were to ask me, what would you do in a Batman movie? That would be the pitch. Now, granted, I'm not talented for shit. Writing a script or directing or editing or music, that's where I get other people to do that shit. But I could at least pitch the story, and I think I have the foundation.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. What do you think?
I think, well, in terms of like my own ideas, I don't really have any. I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
It's just kind of it's on the spot there. You can't put me in the writer's room this time. Damn. That fucking joke I always say. But what you said.
So what do you think about like my pitch? Like, or Do you agree with certain points? Would you change something? Anything to what I've said?
I mean, I do like the foundation, like the Brave and the Bull situation they set up. I think that could be cool, but then it gives. Then I what I'm thinking of, there could be the problem of, okay, who is the MC, right? And I think that's maybe what he's trying to figure out, because if this is gonna be the Batman's first movie, right, then we're gonna focus more on Batman, but then we're gonna have Damian, and it's like, well, we got to focus on him too, and like his development. So I think that's gonna be difficult. I'm interested to see how he's gonna do that, but I think I do agree, and then I kind of, because you're saying what you're saying is not to overthink it, which fair, I get it definitely, but then I kind of understand his perspective of maybe why he's overthinking it and why he's kind of having an issues with it, because he's sitting on a gold mine, bro. Like he's sitting on a gold mine. Like it's one of those things where he has to get this right, because I think there's a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of pressure on him, and obviously Peter Safran, right? Because the higher ups gave him the creative controls. Like, hey man, do what you gotta do. Make this franchise work. Because their goal is obviously, dude, is to create a cinematic universe. Their goal is to compete with Marvel, like 100%. And James Gunn was given a like an opportunity, man, of his lifetime to start over. You know what I mean? Like imagine it, because it's super difficult trying to create other projects and building and adding on to an already established story, right? But now he has an opportunity to completely restart everything, restart the entire universe. How much pressure would you have? You know what I mean? Like, damn, I have the chance to restart everything. That's what I'm going to do. But now that means like it has to work. The first appearances of these characters have to fucking work. Because especially because it's these characters, because it's Superman, because it's Wonder Woman, because it's Batman. Their first appearances, their first movies, they have to be bangers. I can't drop the ball here, because not only is it the start of the universe, but it's also their introduction into the universe, and there's a lot of pressure behind this entire franchise, man. Picking up back from the ground, man. We saw the DCEU, that shit was in shambles. So imagine trying to restart that. So I think that's why he's having like a really hard time, and maybe he's overthinking, because he's like, dude, this is Batman. This is like one of the most iconic superheroes ever, and he's gonna be part of this new DCU. I need to introduce him in a way that's believable and that people will absolutely love, you know. And I think maybe that's what he's trying to figure out, and maybe that's why he's more cautious, really, and trying to fit things together. And I do think maybe it's more difficult when you have Matt Reeves, the Batman, in a play as well, because it's like, damn, this Batman's already established and people love him and stuff. Then there's other people that don't, and I think maybe he has that burden of trying to please everybody, but at the end of the day, you're not. That's impossible. But yeah, my point is, bro, is like I definitely I do fuck with the foundation you provided, and I do agree that, you know what, maybe not overthink it. Personally, I don't care if the movie the first movie that Batman's in, it's not crazy big. If it's like a grounded story or whatever the fuck they do, as long as it's written well and the directions, the story direction is great, I'm there. Yeah, right.
I agree.
So I definitely do agree with you in that aspect, but I definitely understand why maybe he may be cautious with Batman, just because how important he is, and I think he just wants to get it right, you know. And I hope he does. And I hope he gets everyone right, especially Superman. You know, I'm excited to check out Superman. But yeah, that's all I got to say with that, man.
So on here I have a quote. It's actually a quote that James Gunn provided, kind of go into more detail about the DCU Batman. He basically said, Batman can't just be, oh, we're making a Batman movie because Batman's the biggest character in all of Warner Bros. which he is, but because there's a need for him in the DCU and a need that he's not exactly the same as Matt's Batman. End quote.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't build like a DCU, a DCU cinematic universe without Batman. You know what I mean? Like, you need Batman. And if James Gunn already set the foundation of saying, hey, the world's already established, right? We have all these different characters already established, the world's already established, we're jumping in, and you can't not have Batman in the mix.
Right.
You know? So yeah, I definitely understand where he's coming from, and it's a lot of pressure, man. I'm gonna be real. It's a lot of pressure. Like, he's sitting on a gold mine right now. Like, this is like, either he's gonna make it or break it.
Yeah, bro.
Right? Because if this Superman movie isn't good,
that makes or breaks the reputation he's gonna carry
exactly
for the rest of this.
You know what I mean?
Universe.
And people won't care about the Batman movie, right? But if Superman's fire, be like, yo, the movie that Batman's in, The Brave and the Bold, it's gonna be so fire then, right? And let's say that's fire. Oh my God, bro, Wonder Woman's gonna be fire. Oh shit, Supergirl, dude, Supergirl's gonna, you know, it's gonna build that momentum.
Exactly.
And but yeah, so I think that's why he's really thinking it through of how he wants to portray and introduce Batman. And I'm gonna be like, I wish I could give you an idea, bro, of how I would do it. I have no idea. You know what I mean? I really don't. I don't. That's something I haven't thought about. Maybe I need to think about it a little bit more, and maybe I'll come up with an idea. Maybe next time when we record or something. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, man.
For that.
Well, on to the next piece of news that I have on here. This one's interesting. It doesn't go into too much detail, obviously. I imagine, I mean, I could see why. But James Gunn says that recently, when he was giving us updates on DC Studios last week, that they recently just killed a DCU project. But he didn't specify which one. He just says that they had to kill it. So I imagine that this was a DCU project that he announced when he made that Slate video of announcing those movies and TV shows from a couple of years back.
I have a guess which one.
So
might be.
I think I have a guess too, just because the evidence, like the things that I have backing for it. But it's not like a lot. Like, I don't have concrete screenshots. Like,
no, yeah.
I just have like an idea of what it might be. But here's the quote that he provided. He said, quote, "Everybody wanted to make the movie. It was greenlit, ready to go. The screenplay wasn't ready, and I couldn't do a movie where the screenplay is not good." Which I guess before...
So, okay, hold on. So he said the screenplay wasn't ready, but then he said it's not good.
Yeah.
What? So maybe it was ready, but it just wasn't good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing there. He's trying to like, it just wasn't ready, guys. Like, you know what I mean? We just said, we're not going to work on it. I think it might have been like halfway through and it was just bad. He's like, you know what? Maybe this ain't good. Let's just scrap it. And that kind of says more of the writer. It's like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
James Gunn looked at it and said, nah, bro. We're scrapping this. Like what they did with Batgirl with
oh yeah,
that shit was so bad that they scrapped that.
Fuck, bro, I forgot about that.
Yeah, do you remember that, dude? Oh my
shit.
God, thank God we did not get that. But okay, should we talk about? Should we make our like guesses? I think
I have a guess.
Yeah, I have a guess too. Who wants to go first? We cousins or not?
I don't know. I don't know why my gut's telling me you have something different from me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, want me to say it? I'm thinking Booster Gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Booster Gold.
Because we haven't heard anything from Booster Gold, bro.
That's true.
You know, like nothing. Like the last time we heard Booster Gold was that fucking Slate video. That's it. Everything else we've heard of here and there, like Swamp Thing with Paradise Lost. Or no, they didn't they change that or something?
No, they just said that they haven't like started it. Like there were a few projects that he announced that just haven't gotten up and going, like Waller and shit. Waller,
I still think is gonna happen.
I could see.
I think that's gonna happen. Still.
I could see it just because it's like you already have the actors.
Yeah.
If Viola Davis plays Amanda Waller, in the video, the announcement video, James Gunn said that she would be teaming up with Team Peacemaker, so the people that like help with Peacemaker and shit,
Yeah.
to go on her own mission or whatever the hell. So like I could see that.
Or you know what? Can I see all the things that were announced? Actually, maybe I could. Maybe I forgot what was announced.
Because I had another one. Booster Gold is interesting, but do you have a reason? Like, do you have any? Like, are you
Just
or
because
is that
of that because we just haven't heard from it like at all,
Okay.
anything. What are the other movies? Because I forgot.
Well, he
What,
announced
Paradise?
a bunch back then. I was gonna say The Authority.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
I was
you're
gonna
right,
say
you're
maybe
right.
he killed The Authority.
Yeah, it could be that.
But
too.
here's the thing.
No, I don't. Wait,
You don't think so?
The Authority, because what's her fucking face? What's her face? There's a character in the Superman movie that we know for sure is going to be in the Superman movie, and I think ties with the Authority.
Is it
Yeah,
the engineer?
the engineer.
She's in The Authority.
The engineer, I believe, is in the Authority, bro. Let me fact check.
Oh, what the hell? Well, here, I'm gonna try to remember, bro. But I'm pretty sure he mentioned Waller as a project. Then it was Superman. Then it was Brave and the Bold. Then it was Lanterns. Then it was Supergirl. Then it was The Authority. Then Paradise Lost, Booster Gold, and Swamp Thing. Those are the 9 that I can think of when he made that
Yeah.
announcement video.
Yeah.
Like introducing his Chapter 1 slate. Those were the projects that I remember him announcing.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, what was her name again?
The engineer?
Angela Spica. Engineer is going to appear in the upcoming Superman movie, and she's part of the Authority, bro. She's a superhero who is a member of the superhero team as the Authority.
Okay.
Yeah. Because then, don't you remember we were like making like guesses, like, oh, maybe Superman's gonna lead into the Authority or some shit, or I forgot what we said.
No.
It's been a-
Yeah,
it was
I
a while
agree.
ago.
I agree. No, I know what you're saying, but here was my reasoning. I thought the DCU movie that got killed was The Authority. The reason is because in the early development stages of making Superman, which at the time was Superman Legacy, that was the original title. Superman. James Gunn said the Authority would be introduced in Superman.
Really?
Yes, that
I
was
don't
one of the
remember
first
that.
things he said about his Superman movie was that the Authority was going to be introduced, unless it was a lie. But like I
don't
could have
remember.
sworn I saw it from like a credible source that he said that they were going to be introduced. Now, obviously, we see trailers, and the Authority is nowhere to be seen other than the engineer.
Other than
So,
maybe
I
like an
took
end
it
credit
as-
scene or something.
well, here's
I
the
don't
thing:
know.
there's always the option of that. And
Yeah.
James Gunn did say that it was always a passion project of his to make the Authority into a movie. So maybe it could still happen because he's like, nah, man, like I want this shit to happen.
That'd be
It's my
cool,
passion
though.
Project. No, absolutely,
That'd be super cool.
Absolutely, I don't know a lot about the Authority, but when you told me about them,
It's like the boys
Yeah.
situation
you
where
explained how they are and shit like that, and I'm like, it definitely sounds interesting. But the reason why I thought maybe it would have gotten killed is because, for one, we don't see the Authority in Superman unless it's a post-credit scene. But if you remember, James Gunn said that he doesn't want to make post-credit scenes for his DC movies that set up other movies.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he said
Yeah.
he learned from his Marvel mistakes? Like, he didn't want to do that. It has to, like, fit with the movie type shit. So I think
respect
maybe
that.
not. No, yeah, I do too. Another reason why I think maybe the Authority would have been killed is because if James Gunn eventually, I feel like it's inevitable, right? Like he has to, right? Eventually make the Justice League,
oh yeah,
like
for
actually
sure.
form the Justice League team.
I think he said you don't have that. I think he said that was going to happen for sure.
I don't know. That I don't know. The only mention that I saw of Justice League by James Gunn, bro, was when he was establishing his universe a few weeks back. He said, "Oh, in this universe, superheroes have been around for 300 years." And he said that the Justice League is not a thing yet.
Okay, yeah, it's that.
Okay, you see, that's what he said.
Yeah.
That's not a thing yet.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I'm saying, like, if he does inevitably, it has to happen at one point, right? Form the Justice League, it would feel a little weird to have a Justice League and then another team that is like a Justice League, but they kill and they're more hardcore, and that team has a Batman look like similar person and a Superman person and all these characters, right? And so for me, it just kind of seems weird because you're seeing two of the same sort of thing. It's just that one is like the actual team and the other one looks like knockoffs. Which I get that's the point, but I just don't know if that would work if he does eventually want to make the Justice League in the future. Because you're looking at mirrors of Superman and mirrors of Batman and other characters. You know what I mean? So that's what I took it. I took it as maybe the Authority might not get made. But Booster Gold, I mean, it's not like they found a writer.
Yeah.
But the same goes for the Authority. I haven't seen an update about about a writer.
I guess the only reason why is because the engineer is in Superman. So I just figured like, oh yeah, the Authority. We're still gonna get the Authority.
I mean, that's a good guess. I didn't know that. So maybe yeah, you could be right. There's a chance that Swamp Thing might still get made because even though it's
wasn't Swamp Thing already like green, like for sure confirmed though?
Well,
did we get info on that?
Well, technically, everything that he announced in that announcement video, like introducing Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, was all greenlit.
No, but I could have sworn like we got recent update on Swamp Thing, wasn't it?
Well, when we did the Cape Shit is Back discussion pod, he said that he had a writer who was interested in writing the script, but that he just hasn't had a chance to actually take a crack at it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I got. Now, from an update as far as Swamp Thing, like, I haven't heard anything about a script being worked on or even being finished yet. And they don't do castings, bro. Like, they don't cast actors, they don't cast directors until the script is ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So until then, that's when James Gunn starts to crack down on superheroes, like the actors and the directors and shit like that.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that Swamp Thing might still get made because there's a writer attached to it. I forget the writer's name. I forget the dude. It's someone we know. I remember it was someone that we know. I have to look it up. But, like, they're still interested. They just haven't had time to, like, actually work on it. So there's a thing that might get made. Waller, again, same thing. Like, they have the actors, they have the people. They just have to make time for it because Peacemaker's coming out and like they have to kind of like wait for that to be out of the way. Lanterns is being worked on. Supergirl is being worked on, and now Wonder Woman is being written before Paradise Lost.
Yep.
I don't know if Paradise Lost would still happen. Just
Could
because
that be one of them?
You know what I mean? Could that be the one that got killed? I see what James Gunn is doing. Like, he didn't say which one, because I get it, right? Like, you wouldn't want to give out, like, the project that got killed or whatever. I understand. But I don't know, man. I feel like in order to truly know what got killed or what's moving forward is if, and I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, we're almost in July, whether or not James Gunn makes an appearance at Comic-Con. And he does the Marvel shit where, like, he does a slate where he announces, like, the chapter 1, the phases, the next phase of, and he does, like, a slate timeline of shit to come. Unless he does something like that, which things have changed. Now, Waller, Paradise Lost, The Authority, these shows are not coming out soon. Like, Waller was supposed to come out before Superman, dude. Before Superman, after Creature Commandos. And now look where we're at.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. So, that, and also, there are projects that are now being greenlit that were not announced al principio, like at the very beginning. Now, Clayface is getting written, I guess. That shit got greenlit. And now Wonder Woman's being greenlit. You know what I mean? Like, now there are projects that are being greenlit that James Gunn never mentioned in his Slate video.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of stuff is changing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's, like, interesting where it's like, damn, like, what the fuck? Y'all working on this shit now? I would have assumed maybe you would want to work on the shit you announced first, then get to those projects later. But James Gunn fucking greenlit Wonder Woman and Clayface on the spot. I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck? So unless we get like a Comic-Con appearance where he shows a fucking slate picture, a timeline, that's when we'll know what's moving forward and what's not.
Yep.
Because I will say, I can't remember if we mentioned it. We made a podcast. I can't remember if it was on HRV or Cape Shit. We talked about James Gunn's slate. Right? We broke down the projects and we gave our thoughts on it. I don't know if we mentioned it on there. Maybe I'm too late to say it now, but I'm going to say it anyways. I felt it was pretty ambitious of him to reveal that many projects. I would have assumed the projects would have been announced in his slate if they were already being worked on. if screenplays were actively being written or if writers were already hired for it or something. But a lot of these projects, bro, had nothing attached to them. You know what I mean? That's why shows like Waller and Booster Gold and Paradise Lost and The Authority haven't come out, or we haven't no updates on them yet because nothing was attached to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, okay, what the fuck? See what I mean? So that's the only way we can know. But I don't know. I was confident on The Authority being killed, but you're right. I mean, the engineer, if she's part of the crew, that's how I took it.
Yeah.
But Booster Gold, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Booster Gold could still happen, but I just don't know, bro. Or you know what? My alternative choice would be Paradise Lost. Simply because if we're already working on a Wonder Woman movie,
that's true.
It wouldn't make sense to focus on other Amazonians. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a bitch and say Amazonians are boring or that they're not interesting, but it's like what comes out of the Amazonians that we give a fuck about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And now that's being written as a movie. Like, it's being worked on right now. So why focus on the island? Like, why focus on Themyscira? You know what I mean? If like Wonder Woman won't be attached to it, even if it's like a prequel, oh, it's before Wonder Woman was born or something.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That could
then
be
it's
one
like I don't know. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see, bro.
Yeah,
because I don't know what they're doing.
I agree.
Moving on to another piece of news that he mentioned. He says this one's interesting. This one's another interesting. On the same fucking interview, he says, "Oh yeah, man. Unfortunately, we had to kill a DCU project. It wasn't good, so we had to kill it." And in the same interview, he was like, "I guess to make up for it, we also are working on a DC project that's a secret project." I don't know if you remember. I know you said you saw this, but James Gunn says that they have a big secret project working at DC right now. They've kept it under wraps to stop other studios from copying it.
Come on, that's crazy, bro.
What the fuck?
That's
bro?
sneak dissing. At least that's how I took it. The other studios, what I'm thinking of is the MCU, bro.
That's their only other competitor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when I read that, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy cooking up, bro? What is this guy thinking
like,
right
what
now?
the fuck?
Dude, he thinks that it's so fire that, like, if he actually made it public, like, Marvel Studios would actually take that idea and do it. So it's like, what the fuck is he cooking up? What could it be?
I have no idea, bro. But that's all he says.
That's all he says.
Well, I get it, right? It's a secret project. But like, what the fuck,
he's so
bro?
secretive that, like, because he fears that the ops are gonna take that idea.
Right.
So that means that idea he must have, like, he must think it's super fire, and it's like he's like super confident with it. But what could it be that Marvel, like, what could be something that other people could take? You know what I mean?
I feel like, what is it? Like a movie? Is it a TV show?
I think it has to be the concept.
I feel like that's what it is, because movies and shit
it's
can
like
get
IPs, like
are done. Like,
yeah,
they
copyright
shit. They can be made.
I'm thinking of like copyright. They can't steal copyright character or whatever.
Right.
I'm thinking of like the concept of like what's happening. I don't know, but that mean I'm like that got me hyped low key because I'm like, yo, that means he's cooking up something,
bro. But like now it comes down to
honestly, bro, Superman's gonna make it, man. Like, hey, listen, if I love Superman, dude, I'm gonna be hyped for everything, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna be like, dude, there's no way.
We've been saying this for years, bro.
I'm like, this shit's so good, bro. I gotta like I'm gonna be just hyped for the entire universe, bro. You know? Mm-hmm. A lot is riding on Superman.
Dude, a fuck ton of shit is
But dude, it's just so interesting that he is like, yeah, man, I don't want to say because people might take my idea. And it's like, what the fuck are you thinking of? So that's just really interesting. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else that we could really dive deep into because it's something that I don't even like. I can't even come up with any theories, really, what they could do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know, man. I wonder what the fuck, bro. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I can't say because other studios are going to take it. It's like, what, bro?
I know, bro. And it's like the fact that he wants to keep everything secret. Like, I just want to know, bro. What the fuck? So moving on to the next piece of news that I have, and I already kind of mentioned it earlier, but a Wonder Woman movie is being written.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because he had no mention of a Wonder Woman project, anything that was being made when he made that Slate video other than Paradise Lost. But now it's being written as its own solo movie.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like I said, we have to have like a slate of from him at like DC, at like
now
Comic-Con
thinking
or
about it,
something.
dude, it could be Paradise Lost that got cut.
That's what I'm saying. Could
be that, man.
Could be.
Yeah.
Now my thing is, I have a question because I know it's not that big of news, right? Oh shit, Wonder Woman. We know it's gonna get rebooted. We know Gal Gadot is gonna get recast. Like I get it, and this is gonna be the DCU's Wonder Woman, so it's a big deal. But now we have Superman coming out. Batman is trying to get off the floor, and Wonder Woman's being written. And he even said himself, writing a story for Wonder Woman is easier because every Batman story has been told already. But I see what's going on. He's doing what we kind of wanted him to do from the beginning, and that was to establish the Trinity.
Yeah.
Which, if you remember, that was one of the things that we talked about when we made the slate video.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about his slate. That's what we kind of wanted to see, was to see the core Justice League members be established, so that they would eventually team up. So I was interested. I'm like, damn, like chapter 1 of your universe and Wonder Woman's not established unless she gets introduced in Paradise Lost. Mm-hmm. But now her solo shit's getting worked on. So this makes me think, could James Gunn now, because now it's Wonder Woman, Clayface has got greenlit, and a bunch of other projects that he announced back then have not been getting off the floor, dude. Is there a chance that he is now reworking his whole shit? Or changing things around?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you think he might be going to our idea? Do you remember when we were like, he needs to make movies of characters that and like lead up to the Justice League, the assemble, like the team up movie?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what he's going for, bro.
I think that's smart. Mm-hmm. Especially for like the casuals, you know, because it's gonna be like the MCU and the Avengers, like how that led up.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And that hype moment, I think that's something that you should create.
Because now we have those three.
Yeah.
Lanterns, the TV show, is being worked on, and Hal Jordan is an older Green Lantern, and he's kind of like training the rookie who is John Stewart Green Lantern. And he's like the young Green Lantern now. So there's a chance that if they form the Justice League, it's going to be John Stewart Green Lantern. That's going to be in the team, not Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan's like older. Unless he wants to be in it, which I'm not going to complain, right? Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
But it's looking like they're going for the Justice League animated series lineup. Because you have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, but then I look at Green Lantern, and there's two Green Lanterns, but one of them is younger.
They might go
and there's
with
a
him,
chance they might go with him, and it's John Stewart. So like the lineup is looking very like Justice League animated series. Now at this point, you would have to establish, I feel like another core member that needs to be in the Justice League is the Flash. But here's a question. I don't even have this on my notes. I literally just came up with this right now. If you wanted to see a Flash movie that's DCU canon, do you want to see another Barry Allen story, or do you think Wally West should have his spotlight? Because technically, in the animated Justice League show, the Flash is Wally West. It's not Barry Allen. And Wally West, because of that show and because of his popularity, I think in the 2000s and stuff.
That's true.
Wally West was at one point a whole generation's Flash growing up.
That's true.
People had Barry Allen, other people had Wally West. They were like, oh, I grew up as Wally West being my Flash. Well, other people are like, no, the OG is Barry Allen. And then you have the old head like, well, back in my day, it was Jay Garrick. And it's like, what the hell? So would you want to see this DCU universes of Flash still be Barry Allen? Or do you think maybe even as a way to separate, because Barry Allen's been done 3 times, right? The CW Flash show, the Flash movie from a few years ago, and in the 90s, there was a Flash TV show that was also Barry Allen. But in the Justice League animated series, it was Wally West. In the comics, Wally West is his Flash. You know, he's Kid Flash, but then eventually he grows old enough to take the mantle. So my question is, do you think in order to kind of, 1, not do Barry Allen a 4th time, but also 2, as James Gunn's business move, right? It's a business, right? It's all about money. It's about marketing. As a business move, to detach this version of Flash fucking far away as possible as the Flash movie. The one that had Michael Keaton Batman and Supergirl, and that movie, in my opinion, was mid. to separate itself from that version of the Flash, to just to have the Flash be a different person that's not Barry Allen. Would you want to see that, or would you want to see Barry Allen again?
I think it's something James Gunn would do. Like, he would actually do that. Like, you know what? Let's bring in Wally West. Personally, I want to see Barry, man. The reason why I say that is because I want like a really, really good version of him. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Barry.
I think for me, bro, the reason why I lean more towards Barry is because I feel like Barry Allen has the potential, and maybe it's just ignorance. Maybe I just don't know that much about Wally West. Mm-hmm. But Barry Allen has had the Flash storylines that are the most iconic. Reverse Flash. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Wally West has his own Reverse Flash. And even if he did, does he have that personal connection with him? Because the Flash, right? Reverse Flash is the murderer of his mom. Mm-hmm. Which is like his whole origin, bro. Like, his whole thing of his mom dying at a young age is like literally what makes him the Flash. Yeah. So my thing is like, well, would Wally West have a character like that? Like a villain, a rival? You know, the whole Flashpoint storyline, that was another Barry Allen storyline. Like, all the major Flash storylines are with Barry. And I would like to see that. Like, you know what? I would want to see a movie live action of Reverse Flash and shit. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you were to give me Wally West, I don't know much about the kid, where I'm like, what would he have? What storylines is he incorporated in that could be his own solo shit?
Yeah.
That's why I lean more towards Barry Allen, because I just don't know that much about the Wally West Flash. And I can't think of storylines that could be adapted.
Yeah.
That's how I take it. So, I don't know. I lean more towards Barry Allen, but there's a chance, bro.
That's true.
James Gunn might go with Wally.
It's something I see him doing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Another piece of news that I have on here, I'm getting to the end. I have James Gunn confirms that the Clayface movie will be rated R. Ooh, so
that's gonna be
crazy. I think we already knew this. I think we knew it was going to be rated R. We mentioned that the movie is described as a body horror type of film that is going to resemble a lot to the movie The Fly, right? And The Fly is a 1986 body horror movie about an eccentric scientist who is trying to create this big invention that would like revolutionize the world. And this invention is a machine that teleports him, literally, from one place to another. He wants to invent teleportation. The problem is he does self-test subjects. He tests himself on this project. And so he goes into the chamber to test out the teleportation device, but the problem is a house fly, flies into the chamber with him without him knowing. He turns the machine on, and the machine actually works. He actually does. The machine is actually, like, it works. Like, teleportation, he invented it. Mm-hmm. It's fucking crazy. But the fly was in the chamber, and so now the fly is in his DNA. Mm-hmm. And so slowly through the movie, bro starts becoming into a human fly hybrid. Mm-hmm. And it's like a body horror because, like, his teeth fall off, the nails on his fingers, and, like, he has these, like, he's looking all gross and shit. And by the end, he looks like a fucking monster.
Yeah.
So Mike Flanagan, who I believe wrote the script for Clayface, said that his inspiration for Clayface is the Fly movie from 1986, which I'm interested in. We even have a casting. We have Tom Rice Harries, who has been cast as Clayface, who is a younger...
Which I have not seen before.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of this guy, but just looking at him, he's kind of like on the younger side.
Yeah, he's on the younger side.
So he's definitely like, and he's kind of like, okay, he's a good looking lad. I could see why they would give him the role of a disfigured monster that would, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the one thing that caught my attention is that Clayface is going to be rated R. And so that prompted me to ask myself, is there potential for another DCU project that would benefit a rated R rating as opposed to PG-13, because that could lead audiences to come in more.
Wasn't it confirmed that Swamp Thing was going to be rated R?
So that, I don't know. I don't know if Swamp Thing it was confirmed to be rated R. But I feel like that is another good one.
I feel like I feel like Swamp Thing could be
a good one that would rated R. Okay, here's my thing. Paradise Lost.
Oh.
Wait, what'd you say?
The Authority.
Oh, no. Yeah, The Authority. The Authority could be one. I think, yeah. I mean, especially how you describe The Authority. I do think they could benefit from being rated R. I was going to say Paradise Lost because I remember think it was James Gunn who described Paradise Lost as like Westeros Game of Thrones, but in Themyscira.
Yeah.
And if that's gonna be that kind of vibe, where we're gonna be dealing with Amazonian warriors, like fighting in battles and all this crazy shit, I feel like they would have to have rated R material, like beheadings and swords going through the body and like crazy shit. And like, how else are we supposed to buy Wonder Woman as a badass if she didn't grow up in an environment where she was trained to fucking be a fighter and a warrior at a young age? That could be another one.
No, yeah,
you know what I mean? So those are the ones that I can think of. Would you want to see a rated R Batman?
Rated R Batman. What would make it rated R though?
Well, one thing for sure, I don't want to see this motherfucker kill.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
it's like it would just be what, nudity and drugs and shit,
and like maybe your language, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
maybe it could be something like that.
Yeah, I guess why not? I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Right. Yeah, it was a thought that I had. Do you have any other thoughts as to movies that could benefit?
That were like announced?
Sure. Or do you have ideas for projects that James Gunn maybe he didn't announce, but if he were to make it into a movie or show?
Oof. I can't think of anything at the moment.
Because I feel like those are the ones that I mentioned. Like, those are the ones that I feel like are the obvious.
Yeah.
The Authority, Paradise Lost, Swamp Thing. I feel like those have to be, bro. And like, what
if they did like a Red Hood project? Like,
that's true.
That could be rated R.
Yeah, that could be also rated R. I could see that with how dark the story is, like the shit he goes through. I mean, Peacemaker is mature.
Yeah.
So like, it obviously works, bro. Like we've said this before. Like 100%. It can work, dude. So, all right, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, just to see like if you maybe had any other projects in mind for a rated R rating. Okay, now I'm down to the last piece of news, and that is I left this last for a reason, and it's news regarding Superman.
Okay.
So I wanted that to be the last thing we talk about, unless you have something that maybe I haven't mentioned yet.
A small thing. They James Gunn renamed Supergirl movie just to just Supergirl.
Oh, he's not calling it Woman of Tomorrow.
Nope. It's just Supergirl.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What? I didn't see that.
Yeah. Look. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can.
What the fuck? You know what though? I would have thought they would have kept the Woman of Tomorrow subtitle because it's based on the Woman of Tomorrow comic storyline. So I would have thought they would have kept that title, and it would have made sense. If we're being real, bro, I'm gonna be real. I think I liked the sound of Superman Legacy, but then after the name change, like, oh no, we're just gonna call it Superman.
Yeah.
It made me like kind of look back and go, why was it called Legacy to begin with? That's kind of true. Like Legacy. Like,
he said something. He mentioned it before.
Really?
Yeah, he did. Okay. He mentioned it something before. He said because I forgot what he said, but we can maybe look it up. But yeah, I have it right here. So the Supergirl movie, originally titled Supergirl: Woman of Tomorrow, has been retitled to simply Supergirl. James Gunn, co-chair of DC Studios, confirmed the title change, stating he's, quote, sick of the superhero title, other name thing, end quote. This change is part of the broader effort to streamline branding within the evolving DC universe, which I think is fire. I agree. I never liked that stuff either. I'm gonna be real. That's why I fuck with James Gunn, man. Because like the Fantastic Four first steps, like bro, shut up.
I know.
Just Fantastic Four. Superman Legacy. I think I mentioned it to you. I don't know if it was ever on the pod, but I even told you, I'm like, why not just call it Superman?
Yeah, you did mention that.
You know, I'm like, why not just call it Superman, bro? Just what the fuck is with this legacy shit? Just call it Superman. And that's what happened. He named it Superman. I'm all right, thank God, right? So I agree. So for Wonder Woman, I hope it's just called Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? Like Swamp Thing. Booster Gold. Like I hope it's that. Like Lantern. You know, Waller. Like I hope it's, you know, it's streamlined, which I fuck with that. I fuck with that a lot. I'm gonna be, yeah, it's fire, bro. When he changed the Superman Legacy to just Superman, I was like, dude, yes. This is what I like. I like that shit. So Supergirl is getting the same treatment. It's just called Supergirl. So that's gonna be cool.
I had no idea, bro.
And then what was the other thing too, as well, that I said and that we were gonna fact check?
To fact check?
Yeah.
If Swamp Thing was gonna be rated R?
No, not that. It was something else. I just said it a moment ago. What did I say?
Oh, the reason why Superman was called Legacy.
Oh yeah. Because I'm pretty sure James Gunn said why he named it that way.
Oh, okay. I don't know, because I always thought the title was cool. I think I was more hyped, bro, that we were finally getting a Superman movie.
100%.
So I just kind of like, but now, like, now that we're so close to the release date, I look back and I'm like, yeah, maybe the title wasn't that great.
So he said, James Gunn initially titled the Superman movie Superman Legacy to indicate it was part of a new DC universe era.
Okay.
But he later dropped Legacy because he felt it implied a focus on the past, while the film is meant to be forward-looking and optimistic about the future of Superman. So,
makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense. I mean, I can see the thought process, but I do much prefer just Superman by itself.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, man.
100%. So yeah, it was to signify the start of a new chapter to the DC universe. So that was like, but I get it. Superman, fire.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, that's all. That's it. That's all I have. I just want to bring that up. Supergirl got a name change.
For sure. Okay. Well, I have a few pieces of news for Superman. I just have two. I tried looking and making sure I didn't miss anything, but these were the only two that I could find. The first one is kind of smaller news, but it's kind of a big deal. Superman is currently tracking to open with $90 to $125 million in the domestic box office.
Wait, what? Wait, say that. Wait, 900 what?
No, 90 million.
90 million?
To 125 million.
To 125. Oh my god! I was about to say, what the fuck? Close to $1 billion?
No.
Okay, Okay.
It's tracking to open.
Opening. Holy shit.
And you know what? A part of me always wondered, like, how do you track that? Like, but it's because of ticket sales.
Yeah.
So it's tracking to make $90 million to $125 million in its opening weekend, which only proves our point. The hype is fucking
it's real.
Real?
Bro. The hype is real.
But the fucking the pressure's there, man.
The pressure's there.
Because this is the first
you.
Superman movie we've had solo in like 12 years.
Yes, dude.
So
and it's the start of the brand new universe, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. This is it.
yeah, dude.
This is it, bro.
So like this is not a shock.
Oh man.
And bro, we're fucking almost there, dude.
I hope it's good, bro.
I know, dude.
I really
I
hope
know.
it's good. If it's not, I'm quitting, bro. I'm quitting all this. There's no point.
Bro, if it flops, all those times we were like, man, trust James Gunn.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking not age well, dude.
But all of his shit that we've seen is fire.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been
so
good.
it's like, this has to be fire.
Yeah. And we even mentioned, like, the only thing that I'm still indifferent is how many characters are in the movie. Like, side
Which
characters.
actually, I saw he replied to that.
Yeah, I saw that too. You saw that?
Yeah, do you have that on there?
I don't have it, but I
just-
remember he said, hey, man, Oppenheimer had 3 times more speaking roles
Exactly.
than we do.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, he's confident that it's not going to confuse people and that it's not going to fuck with the flow of the movie and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's something that you and I we talked about. Where that was like our main concern, and I think it still is. Even though he said that, I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. But who knows? Maybe he does it in a way that's like, yo, it's fucking phenomenal. Maybe it's in a way where it actually feels like a fucking comic book and it's not too much, you know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm interested to see if I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope that all the characters I introduce in the movie and the way that they're executed is well done and it doesn't disrupt the flow of the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Well, we're almost there, bro. It's 2 weeks away.
why are you smiling?
Because I'm fucking excited, bro.
I can see you in the corner of my eye.
Oh my god, bro.
Dude,
Fucking excited, dude. And this fucking sucks because I know these next 2 weeks are going to be dragging. It's going to feel slow just
I'm
because
kind of nervous, bro. Like, bro, I'm not even lying, bro.
like you're scared it's going to be all for nothing.
Like, I'm like, just thinking about it, kind of getting like goosebumps. Like, I'm getting nervous. Like, you know, it's that feeling of, I don't know, like sending that risky text or like about to go on a date or like, you know, when first day of school, you lay out the fit. And like you can't sleep because like damn, like I'm about to, you know what I mean? Like that feeling, you know what I mean? People who are listening, that feeling of like, oh shit, I'm just nervous.
Well, there's a lot riding on it, dude.
Yeah, I'm nervous, man. I don't know. It's gonna be surreal once we're there.
I know, dude. Like I said, these next 2 weeks are gonna be fucking slow for me because like I'm just gonna be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's one. It's just like fuck. Bro,
We gotta
like,
get that popcorn bucket, man.
The one that I want is the popcorn machine.
I think I'm gonna get both, bro. I think I'm gonna get both.
Are you talking about the crypto one?
The AMC one? No. That's
Oh,
the crypto is Cinemark.
Cinemark.
We don't have a Cinemark near us.
Okay, but you're talking about like that.
I'm talking about the popcorn machine, which is what is it? Which one is that from?
I have no idea,
Marcus?
bro. I found it on Marcus.
It might be Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus Theaters.
Yeah.
And then the AMC one, which is what was it, like a mailbox thing?
It's the Daily Planet like newspaper thing.
Newspaper mailbox thing. Yeah. I think I might get both.
I'm surprised because I saw it and I was like, oh, I mean, I thought it'd be.
I think it's cool. I still think it's cool.
I thought it'd be more creative. I thought it'd be something much like I don't know, interesting. Like,
yeah.
But the popcorn bucket one is very creative because like his heat vision is heating up the kettle. Like that's super cool.
Yeah, that one's cool.
But when I saw the AMC one, like I don't know, I just kind of expected something a little bit more creative.
I got you.
But I get it. Like it's supposed to fit with the world. It's Daily Planet. Like I understand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it could have been. Like I don't know. Could have been like Superman, like lifting a thing and like that's
like a figure, a figure surround like lifting a like a bucket or
something like that. Like couldn't have been something like that. I don't know. Personally, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like when I saw the AMC one, I was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Okay.
But it's not something personally I wouldn't necessarily get it. That's just me though.
I want to be in the movie theater. Superman.
Save us. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring that fucking
like the
pole.
boy. Yeah, like the boy in the trailer.
Yeah. I'm bringing that. I'm gonna make my own like pole with the fucking with the symbol on it, and I'm gonna have it there.
Let's fucking pull up in Superman suits, bro.
I was actually thinking about buying a Superman T-shirt.
Actually,
and wearing it. But you know what though? If the movie flops, I'm gonna look like a dumbass. So hey, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Have an extra shirt. Have an extra shirt under, so you can just take it off, like, rip it and shit.
And it's the Henry Cavill one.
Yeah.
No, he's mine. This movie sucks. This is my Superman. I thought about that, but I'm like, bro, but like, I don't want to think negatively, but what if it sucks? And I'm walking out like,
what if it's like mediocre? Like,
I have this bright blue shirt with the Superman logo on, man.
With your popcorn bucket.
Sad as fuck. Man, what the fuck?
I hope not, bro. Jesus Christ.
I hope not either, bro. That's why I'm fucking scared.
But hey, but speaking of popcorn buckets,
yeah,
we should mention what we did today.
You want to bring it up? You want to talk about it?
So speaking of popcorn buckets, guys, for those of you guys who don't know, they revealed the Fantastic Four popcorn buckets. They have revealed so many of them, man, that you could get from, I think, AMC, Marcus, and Cinemark. They have their own versions. But the popcorn bucket that caught people's attention was Galactus's head. Mm-hmm. And it's huge, bro. It's like, how tall is it, dude? Can you find it? Like, isn't it like fucking 18 inches?
It is 17 and a half inches tall.
Yeah.
And I believe 20 inches wide.
Dude,
from the
it's
widest
fucking
point.
huge.
From the widest point.
And it's the most expensive popcorn bucket to date. It goes at it's $80.
Yep.
And so you are able to pre-order it like in the online and stuff, just depending on like if they release it first. So Marcus Theaters actually released it for pre-order. They released it a couple of days ago, I believe. And so Hav and I today, we bought it.
Yep.
We secured it. I was debating because the shipping was like an extra $20. So in total, we had to spend like $100. You know, a little over $100, like 106, 108 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was debating, dude. I'm like, I don't know. Should I just... That's a lot. That's a lot of money, man, for a popcorn bucket. Should I just wait until maybe I'll get lucky in person? And then Hav sends me a text with a screenshot saying he bought it. And I'm like, nah.
My order confirmation?
I'm like, nah, I can't let him one-up me, bro. I can't let him one-up me, so I bought 2 of them. No, I'm kidding. No, so after he bought it, bro, I bought it. I'm like, yo, fuck it. I bought it. I can't let him one-up me like that. So, hey, it is what it is. I'll say this right now. If we go there and they have another one there, I think I might buy another one. I might buy another
For Superman?
one. No, for Galactus.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, the Galactus
if they have that one, yeah. I might buy another one. But because Superman, I don't know if we were able to order it online. I'm not sure. Because, dude, Marcus Theater released the Fantastic Four popcorn buckets, and that's way later, bro.
Yeah.
'Cause Superman's around the corner and nothing. So that's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. And on the topic of popcorn buckets, a similar instance happened with the Jaws popcorn bucket.
Oh.
So we saw it. We went to AMC. We saw it. It was in stock. I think it was like $40, wasn't it? 40 or $50 or something.
Yeah, it was
Like that.
about 50.
I was debating on buying it. The reason why I say it's similar is because Hive was like, "I'm gonna get it," and I'm like, "Bet I'm gonna get it." I can't let him do me like that. I can't let him this is my own game. We're talking about collectibles. I can't let Hive one up me in my own game. That's crazy work. So Hive was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna get this Jaws." Because what was it, the 50th anniversary or something?
Yes, it's the 50th anniversary of the original Jaws movie.
Yeah, and it was this really cool popcorn bucket, and there was only 2 of them, bro. There was only 2 of them.
There's 2 of them left.
And before we saw it, I was talking about it. We were walking out of the movie, and I was like, "Dude, you know what? It just popped in my head. I'm like, dude, that popcorn bucket with Jaws, man, super cool." I thought it was a Cinemark exclusive, but no. As we were leaving, Hoff turns around, I was like, "Dude, is that it?" And we were like, "Holy shit, yeah, that's the one." And we're just debating whether to buy it. We're just standing there for 5 minutes, just
debating.
Talking. Yeah, debating. Hav finally said, "You know what? I'm gonna get it. Fuck it." I said, "Fine, I'm gonna get it too, bitch. Can't let you one up me."
Yeah.
But is that everything, Hav?
I have one more thing. However,
Okay.
I was browsing right now.
Okay.
We were talking about popcorn buckets, and I found out the Superman popcorn bucket that we want, the popcorn machine one,
Yeah.
that's from Regal.
Oh, it's from Regal.
Yeah. And you can actually see it on the website.
For pre-order? Can we pre-order it now? Or
No. So here,
Okay.
look, it's called the Heat Vision
That one's
popcorn
sick.
popper.
Yeah, that one's fucking
And
sick.
and basically it just says the little text they have on here, the most super collectible to date. Don't miss the Heat Vision popcorn popper bucket and get your tickets now for Superman coming to Regal July 11th.
Yeah.
So they say that it says the way the grammar is listed in this sentence, it's saying that Superman is coming to Regal July 11th. But my question is when does the popcorn bucket go on sale?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I looked up the picture, and this is the picture that provides. It says, available in Regal in the promotional picture for the popcorn bucket. So I know I can get it here, but there's no word as to how I can buy the popcorn bucket. Because all the little if you could see right here the links, it just says get tickets. Here's another crypto popcorn bucket, but it says get tickets. Here's another just a typical popcorn bucket with the logo on it.
With the cup?
Yeah, but it says get tickets.
Yeah,
So
I don't know,
there's no
dude.
page dedicated to the collectibles.
Maybe we can. Maybe we just have to get lucky. Well, then again, we're gonna see it early, girl. So there's a chance that we might get lucky. Oh, we're not Regal, though.
But we're not going to
not
Regal. Unless does Marcus sell their own?
I think. Okay.
I know we
okay.
bought-
What's interesting is that Cinemark, Marcus, Regal, AMC, typically they have their own style of popcorn buckets.
Right.
Right. That's what we're seeing here in Superman. But what's interesting is I think Regal, Cinemark, I think all of them have the same Galactus popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time I've seen that happen. Maybe because that's big as hell, or maybe it's I don't know. They knew it was gonna be fire. They knew people were gonna be buying it. I don't know. So it's interesting. But with Superman, yeah, as of right now, it looks like all of them have their own popcorn bucket. So Regal, I know you could buy them online. We just have to wait.
Yeah.
And see when they become available.
That's what I was looking at. I hope
it's not too much, you know what I mean? Because I want to get both. I want to get the AMC one and the,
Yeah.
And if I go to AMC and they have a cup, because that's another thing too, is when we got the Jaws popcorn bucket, they had the cups, matching set cups. I didn't get that one because it was a bit too steep. It was close to $20 for a fucking cup. I'm like, yo, that's kind of crazy. If Superman has a cup like that, I think I might get it. I'm not gonna lie. One thing for sure that I still do not have is the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket. I did buy it online, but it came damaged, so I gave it to my brother because I'm a collector, guys, and it came damaged. And I did file a complaint, and they tried to get me another one, but they sold out, so they just refunded me. They said, hey, we'll refund you the money and you get to keep the popcorn bucket. I'm, all right, fine. I gave it to my brother, so he has it. Cool. But the reason why I'm bringing it up, because number one, I don't have that popcorn bucket yet. I still want it. And number two, because we're on the topic of cups, they released these ceramic cups, these matching cups with Deadpool and Wolverine.
I saw
Dude,
that.
they're fire. But I think each of them at the time were $50 each. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy. That's OD. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
But dude, I think I would have gotten those, man. Maybe I will in the future. You know, maybe.
I know the
don't know.
Fantastic Four has a cup
Oh yeah, they do.
of Herbie,
Oh yeah,
AI
yeah.
robot. That's in the movie.
They even have the popcorn bucket. Is that no? Or is that the cup you're talking about?
No, I saw the cup.
Oh, that might have been the
The
cup.
popcorn
Okay.
bucket for Fantastic Four is Galactus's helmet.
Yeah.
And the other one is Mr. Fantastic.
Oh yeah,
The
with
one
his, with his
the
arm.
that wraps around the bucket.
But like the way the picture's shot, looks like it's his. Looks like it's his dick. There's a whole meme about it. I don't know if you've seen that, huh?
No.
Look at the stock photo. It looks like it's coming from his dick. And people are like, yo, what? People are in the comments like, what is that, bro? It's funny as hell. And then the other popcorn bucket was the car, the Fantastic Four car.
Oh yeah.
That one. I think that one's Regal or something. Yeah. For AMC, I don't know. Oh no, AMC they have the Galactus. But yeah, we'll see. Can you not find it?
I could have sworn I sent a. Oh, you know what? I know where it's. Here it is.
Yeah, it's the. If you look at it from an angle, it looks like it's coming
From
his-
behind.
yeah, coming from his junk. From his it looks like his dick. People were like, people already made edits of it, like to make it look seamless. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
Fucking
But okay, that's
stupid.
everything, right?
I have one more thing.
okay, yeah.
So it was the last Superman news. It's because we started talking about popcorn buckets. I wanted to get your thoughts on this because this is interesting. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't read this quote. I just saw like the little tagline and I was like, oh, I need to mention that. So I screenshotted it and I added it to my notes. But I actually haven't read the quote. But James Gunn says his Superman is beatable.
Oh yeah, I did see this.
Did you see this?
I did see this.
So this is the first time I'm actually reading the quote from James Gunn, but he provided a quote. And the quote says, I see the online things. Who would beat whom? Homelander or Superman or fucking whatever. And I'm like, this is a fucking stupidest fucking conversation. So then whoever would win this fight means that they're the best? Because I'll just go out and write God-Man, who can destroy you in a wink. But I didn't want a Superman who could punch planets. So he's a little less powerful. A lot of people are like, I like Batman better because he can actually be beat. And I get that. So we have a Superman that can be beat. Mm-hmm. That was the last thing. But that's interesting.
I mean, the thing is, I think we talked about this before. And it's just, yeah, it'll be difficult, man. It's kind of, because we talked about it like, dude, okay, what kind of villain, who can beat Superman? Brainiac? And like, we have to go extra galactic in this bitch.
Yeah, we started talking about, we talked
Remember
about that. Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that he isn't like super OP, because that way he can still get beat up by kaiju monsters or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still like want those moments where like he's just standing there not being affected and shit, like on some Sentry shit that we got from the Thunderbolts.
That's true.
Go check out that review, guys. The Heat Ray Vision podcast. We actually review Thunderbolts. So I still want shots like that, moments like that. Mm-hmm. But I do understand why he wants to, because it's kind of no fun. Like if you could just tank everything, like it just there's no development there.
I agree.
So I get it. So I definitely get it. I'm not upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe as he gets older, I'd like to see him a little bit more powerful, right? You know, typical character development shit. Cool.
Goku
but as of right now, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know, I get it.
But this is when I saw this, I actually didn't look into it, but I knew that this was easy target for the Snyder fans.
Oh yeah,
to come out and say that's trash,
dude. And speaking
Man of Steel, Henry Cavill wouldn't be beatable,
bro. And speaking of the Snyder fans, bro, like, dude, they're going crazy, bro, right now.
Are they?
Dude, yes, bro. There was a viral Reddit post. Even James Gunn commented about it.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Yes, I'm not even kidding. There was a viral Reddit post. I think it was in the Snyderverse, like subreddit or some shit.
Okay.
It's gone. You can't find it.
Fuck. I was about to look it up.
We'll look it up. You can look up the details. But it got deleted. Where they were essentially boycotting. They're gonna review bomb the movie. They're like, he was basically this dude calling to action. Oh, Snyder Cut fans, like, let's all review bomb it. Let's all buy tickets and not go and shit, or like not show up, but it's like you're still buying the ticket. It's just all this shit, right? People were trying to boycott the movie, right? And James Gunn actually replied saying, it's like, we're not, it's like, basically it's just saying, I'm not too worried about it. I think we'll be fine without them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you, did you find it?
I found it right here.
Yeah, go ahead if you could read it.
A post on the, the subreddit Snyder Cut called for a boycott of the new Superman movie, framing it as a fight against evil and greed, and for the restoration of Zack Snyder as the leader of DC. This post explicitly urged fans to spoil the movie, leave negative reviews, and attempt to sabotage ticket sales. James Gunn's response. James Gunn, director of the new Superman film, he has publicly addressed the boycott, stating he's not concerned and believes the impact will be minimal. He even joked about it, saying he thinks they will survive.
Yeah.
I think we'll survive this one, bro.
Yo, I got it.
It's a fucking troll.
We good. You got it, bro. You got it, little bro. Let's buy tickets and not show up. Because, like, you bought the tickets, though.
I was going to say, like, that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Y'all bought the tickets.
But the whole
you know what that
spoiling
reminds
shit,
me
I
of?
get it, yeah.
There's like this is an actual thing. I don't know if you knew this, but when rappers get into beefs and shit, I think 50 Cent did this shit, bro. I swear to fucking God. I
know what you're talking about.
It's like, when motherfuckers will go and buy tickets for their concerts so that it looks empty, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna buy all these tickets in this venue so that it's empty as hell.
Yeah.
When Brody comes out to perform. And that shit is so stupid because it's like, bro, but you still bought the tickets.
No, that too. No, but I think what it is, it's like a humiliation thing,
right?
Like, imagine you come out to perform and no one's there. It's like, what's going on? But the manager's like, oh, but like you still got the bags. All right, that's cool, but this feels kind of weird. Though.
Yeah,
I think it's just like one and like social media thing where like they were probably gonna have someone there record it and then post on social media. Look, nobody showed up. You know what I mean? Like that shit.
But to me, it's just like dumb, if you look deep into it, it's like, bro, you just gave your op thousands of dollars. Like you helped them get paid, bro. Yeah. Well, where's the burn in this? Like, yeah, no. Oh, well, it's empty as hell.
I think it's like
you got me money.
It's like a social media reputation, like a public. What's the word I'm looking for?
Humiliation? Public.
Yeah, and like it ruins like his reputation.
Like
his influence type of thing. It's like, look, bro, nobody showed up, but because that's all people are gonna see. It's like, damn, that's all people are gonna say.
Yeah.
So, whoa, bro, you're fucking, what's his name? This rapper's fucking stadium is empty, bro. They're not gonna say that 50 Cent or whatever the fuck bought all the tickets. You know what I mean? The headline is this motherfucker came out to an empty stadium. That's the headline, you know. But yeah, man, I don't know. I do think it's stupid as well. But yeah, Snyder Cut fans.
Yeah,
Snyder
man.
fans.
I know
crazy, dude.
When I saw that James Gunn said, "Oh, my Superman is beatable," I just knew that was easy target.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For the Snyder Cut fans, for the Snyderverse fans to come out and like say, "Man, fuck that shit." My Superman, Henry Cavill, he wouldn't be beatable.
And listen, and another thing too, people are really upset about the trunks. The Snyder Cut fans are upset with the trunks, and they're upset with Superman being more jokey and like more lighthearted. But then all I gotta say to them is, "But that's Superman." Mm-hmm. You know, that's how he is, and that's the trunks. That's how he is too. Mm-hmm. Like I do like the stoic, serious version of Superman. Mm-hmm. I hope we do get that, but like obviously in those serious moments, right? He doesn't have to be like that all the time. Unless maybe he's older and on some fucking Kingdom shit, right?
That's true.
So cool. But overall, yeah, I don't know. I disagree with those guys, man.
I just, as far as like the jokey, lighthearted Superman, like what people are complaining about, I think I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't cross the Thor line.
Oh, dude, Thor's on a whole different level.
That's what I'm saying. If it never gets to that point, dude, I think I'll be straight chilling.
For sure.
I just don't want it to get to that point.
That Thor bullshit was fucking, oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't remind me, man.
So that's why I'm like, you know what? Like, it's fine, yo. I'm going to be real. Like, as long as it doesn't get to that fucking point.
You know what? And I'm ashamed, bro. I'm ashamed because I have that popcorn bucket for that movie. There's a reason why it's not displayed. It's in the box. It's still in the box down there. And here's the thing. I pre-ordered it like a month
before watching the movie.
Before the movie, yeah. It's one of those things. Because I was low-key hyped for it. Not hype. I was looking forward to it. I'm like, oh, shit, so we're back. Okay, you know what? Let's get it. Then after watching it, I'm like, yeah, man, this is it. This ain't it, bro. You know?
There's a reason it's not displayed.
Yeah, it's cool, though. It's cool. It's Thor's hammer. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks, yeah.
But yeah. Is that everything?
That's all the news that I have.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, hang up your capes because that's going to be the end of this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for listening. And as always, we hope to assemble again very soon. But until then, wait for our signal. Take care, guys.
See you.